Well, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing okay. Welcome to another episode of Addicted to Gear Live, Sunday live stream show. I'm glad to see you guys all here. Why am I getting music? Oh, my phone. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are all well. I saw you guys chatting a little bit before the show started, so I want to say good morning to you guys that are here. Good morning to Charles. Good morning, Cohen. Good morning, Bruce. Wayne. Good morning to you, buddy. Gospel of Mark. Good morning. Um, hey, Mark. Sorry to hear about your wife, buddy. I hope she's doing okay. Yeah, that's definitely a scary story if she's not feeling well. I hope she'll be okay. Maybe it's just asthma acting up or something like that, and they can straighten that out for her very very quickly. Yeah, it's always a little scary when something like that pops up, but hopefully everything will be good. Keep us posted on that, please. Cohen, good morning. Yeah. Well, if she's vaccinated, Mark, that's a good thing. I think that's good. So maybe it's just a little asthma thing. Um, it's always crazy. It's always crazy. I encourage everybody to get vaccinated. I know there's people that just don't want to get vaccinated, but I encourage everybody to do so as much as I can. But I mean, you guys, I don't want to turn this into a COVID show, so let's just keep our fingers crossed and send good vibes over to Mark's wife, and hopefully everything will be just fine. Um, Seth, good morning to you, buddy. Alan, good morning. No, you're not bringing it down, Mark. It's all good. You know, we care about each other. That's how we are. So we'll distract you a little bit with guitar talk in a minute here, after we say good morning to everyone. Hey, Fat Philosopher. Good morning. How are you? Um, Gospel of Mark. Yeah, he's getting. Let's send Mark and his wife good vibes. It definitely helps for sure. Um, let's see here. Rich, got my coffee ready to go. Awesome. John ZD351. Good morning. Um, so guys, what's going on? Yeah, man, it's Bruce. It's crazy. Eh? It really is. Really nuts. You know what? Yesterday, I don't want to turn this into a COVID thing, but yesterday I was driving down the street going to pick up some slides that I need for some drawers that I'm building into my workbench, so I can actually work on my guitars a little bit more efficiently because I have too much stuff lying around. And yeah, traffic. Lo and behold, we have a really large park in the center of the city, and there was a demonstration. There was an anti-COVID passport demonstration going on because they've implemented passports here. So if you're not vaccinated and you don't have your vaccination passport, they're going to limit what you can do. So a lot of people were against that, and everybody was protesting, but everybody wasn't wearing masks, of course. So yeah, things are still going on. We were supposed to be able to return to work in person middle of September. That's been pushed back to October now. So I really keep my fingers crossed that we don't have another, thing, another blowout with this third wave, fourth wave, Delta variant, all this crazy thing. I mean, we want to eventually get back to normal, but there's a lot of younger people, particularly now, that are getting COVID, and they're getting it because they were not vaccinated. Like I think the numbers here were like 60% of the people that are in the hospital right now due to COVID are younger people that haven't been vaccinated. So Anyways, let's carry on. Let's carry on with the guitar talk, and that's enough of that. What's going on, guys? Let me know who's got new toys this week. I like to always ask that question and start off the session with that. We'll try and see if we can keep it to about an hour's worth of chit chat today, but if we have to go a little longer, we'll see what we can do with that. I know some of you last week had picked up some stuff, some new toys, and you had mentioned that. But I always ask the question because we're always buying and selling stuff. Myself, did I pick up anything new this week? Actually, I did. I don't want to talk about it just yet. I'm just gonna give you a little hint. It's one of the guitars behind me here. I don't want to talk about it because I actually made a video. I'm almost finished with that video, and I'm going to be posting it probably maybe tonight, tomorrow, for you guys. And that is another project that I'm going to be working on very shortly. I'm getting myself lined up for the winter, guys. When winter and colder temperatures come along, and it's already starting to cool off a little bit, I'm looking for new projects. So I have a couple of projects lined up, at least three, that I'm going to be probably working on as things get colder. That's why I'm trying to set up my workspace in my garage so I can actually be more efficient. I usually work on my guitars in the basement, but the wife is not pleased with that because I'm slowly taking over everything. So I'm going to move my stuff over to the garage so I can actually have access to everything there, proper lighting, and be able to work in the garage directly. So getting lined up for that. So yeah, it's been a crazy week for me. My equipment's starting to die on me slowly. That's why I haven't been posting many new videos this week. My laptop is in the Apple store right now. It just stopped charging for whatever reason, and I wasn't able to figure that out. I thought it was just the connector, but it's not. So it's gonna cost me more money. Hopefully they can actually fix it. So that's kind of put the brakes on some new video output, as well as my camera seems to be doing something weird with the color. It just goes back and forth. It kind of like does a funny thing with colors all of a sudden. So that's starting to bother me a little bit and become a challenge, but I'm still trying to pop out a few new videos as much as I can. Cool Toon says he's got to keep his purchases spread apart like the vaccine shots. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm actually trying to source some parts for my Frankenstrat build. That's one of the projects that I have that I'm going to be working on. I want to build another guitar, and it's going to be the Frankenstrat version. I built this one here, the Kramer version, which is right there. Turned out pretty good, so I'm really happy with that. So I wanted to go on and make another one, and I always wanted the Frankenstrat build, but it's always been more of a challenge because it's a really crappy guitar, guys. Let's face it, the guitar that Eddie had put together, I mean, he wasn't a builder by any means, and he tried his best, but it's really like a guitar that works but shouldn't, the way it's been put together. So replicating that is not an easy task because you have to basically build a crappy guitar out of new parts and make it play well, so it's kind of a conundrum. But I'm slowly starting to source the parts that I need for that. The biggest challenge is a good quality Floyd Rose, maybe a German one, and the German Floyd Rose are probably around $300, so it's a big expense. So I'm trying to source a used one, but it's really hard to get a made in Germany used Floyd because people that have them usually hang on to them. I'm staying away from the knockoffs and the Floyd Rose specials and all that kind of stuff. They're less expensive, but they're not very good. So I want, if I'm going to build the guitar and I'm going to put time and energy in it, I want it to turn out well. So I'm keeping my eyes open for that on like Reverb and eBay and the local used market, and hopefully something will pop up because I want to get the project started before it gets too cold to paint it, because the painting is critical. So I have to get that going. We're already almost in September, guys. So winter's around the corner. So that's what I have lined up. Let's see what you guys have lined up here. Um, so John says it's been the longest period he's gone without getting any new gear. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, John. You get to fill up the jar, and eventually you'll be able to buy something even better. Um, Save your money, get splurge after you can buy a lot of cheap things or one really expensive things. Um, yeah, Seth, with parts, as I mentioned, I'm looking for a Floyd, a chrome Floyd Rose, preferably made in Germany. That's what I'm looking for right now. Fat Philosopher, I only got 5 pedals now. Which 5, Fat Philosopher? What do you got on your board? Alan says prices in the UK are rising again. Oh man, again? The prices are already extremely high, so. And the Gospel of Mark says he's selling off stuff, sold his jazz bass, still got some pedals to move. So guys, like list what you're trying to sell. Maybe you guys could get in touch with one another. We're all getting to know each other here. If you guys are willing to ship, or maybe in the same location more or less, you can work something out. Um, let's see here. So Fat Philosopher says it's been slow gear selling season here. And Quicksilver says he sold the Tokai, bought himself an American Professional 2 Telecaster from Thomann. They offer a free setup, so it is slightly delayed delivery until tomorrow. Okay, so keep us posted on that, Quicksilver. Congratulations on that purchase. Is that your first Telecaster? Telecasters are great. I love Telecasters, man. Can't get enough of the Telecasters. I finally almost finished my Butterscotch Telecaster build. It's there in back of me, right there. You can see it. The only thing missing on it right now is a string tree. That's it. And it's done. Is there anything else I need to do with that guitar? No, I think it's done. It's heavy. It's a heavy guitar, but it has great sound. And I put in a set of pickups in there that were the budget Porter pickup set that they have now. They're offering these pickups that are pretty inexpensive. They're like $99 a set, and they sound really good. I'm so pleased with the Telecasters pickups that I'm probably gonna try a set of their cheapy. I shouldn't say cheap because they're probably inexpensive. That's a better word. Inexpensive humbuckers, because I saw a video of them, and they sounded really good. They sounded really nice and full for 99 bucks a set. That's not bad. I'm gonna be trying those out soon, I hope. And I'm gonna have a video review of these, the ones that are in here in the Telecaster, so you can hear how good they sound. I'm telling you guys, they really sound great. So yeah, Quicksilver, congratulations on the Telecaster. Let us know when it arrives and how you feel about it. Cranar is also selling a lot of stuff, trying to improve my setup for videos. Nice. The video setup, you can spend a lot of money on that, but it's best to go one piece of equipment at a time. Just buy what you need when you need it. Otherwise, you can go crazy with that stuff. And he's also building a HH Strat. I like HH Strats. I converted. I purchased some Squier guitars, the Contemporary series that was out for a while. I don't know if they're still available right now, but they're great guitars. They were not extremely expensive. I think I bought them. I think I paid like $275 or something like that used. I bought 2 of them because I had purchased one. I was so impressed with it. I bought another one because I like Charvel style guitars with humbuckers, and those are like $1,000. And honestly, the Contemporaries, they're pretty much the same. You have 2 humbuckers, tone, volume, no Floyd on those, and they're great. They're solid guitars. I just swapped out the pickups like I normally do, and they sound really good. So there's, if you can grab one of those used, they're fantastic for the money, man. I always say for the money, but even even if they were more expensive, like those guitars, even at 5, 6, 700 bucks, they'd still be a good buy. And the paint job on them is really nice. I have a red one, has a little bit of sparkle in it. I have sort of an ivory pearl. I don't know. It kind of has a little bit of sparkle in that one too. They look good. A couple of people say they don't like the painted headstock. I'm not a huge fan of the painted headstock myself, but I mean that's an easy fix. If you don't like it, just sand it off and refinish it, and you're good to go. The fretboards are nice. Overall, great sounding guitar. Um, so that was a good buy. One of my better buys. Cohen is saving his money for tools. Yeah, I just got myself a mini router. I had a full blown router, but when you're working on guitars, the mini routers seem to be better. So I got myself one of those because I'm going to be using it also to route out my guitar when I'm working on the Frankenstrat, and there's a lot of other things that I need to do when I'm working on converting guitars that are not Floyd Rose friendly into a Floyd Rose system, like I'm going to be doing on the Frankenstrat. The mini routers are going to be a lot easier to handle. So Mark's selling his Jet Gold Top. I thought you liked that guitar, Mark. Great. Gretches are good. I mean, they're great guitars. Are you sure you're not going to regret it if you get rid of that? What are you trying to flip it for? What do you have in your crosshairs right now? John says the original Frankie went through so many mods and replacement parts. I don't know how good it actually was. It always needed something changed. Yeah, I think it was a project that was basically evolving. Honestly, as part of my research for this project, I tried to accumulate images of the Frankie. The only ones that I'm sure are original photos of the original guitar, because there's so many like fakes and replicas out there, pictures of those. You never know what you're looking at. But the ones that I got are when the guitar was actually being shown at the museum in New York City. So a couple of people took a bunch of pictures of the guitar when it was there, and I accumulated a beautiful library of really detailed close-up photos of the guitar, front, back, sides, everything. So it's going to be a great resource for me when I'm building the guitar as a reference. I'm going to try to build it close to the original, but I'm not going to be able to spend like 20,000 hours building this thing and put every single mark on the guitar, but I'm going to try and get decently close to it. But yeah, the guitar was pretty much like a modding platform. Changes over changes over changes. So the guitar was basically, I mean, it's amazing that the guitar still worked. I think the most important thing was probably the neck and the Floyd, and this part was working okay, but the rest of it was just, badly modded and used over and over again throughout the years. So, but it's really cool. It's got mojo, and I'm a big Van Halen fan, and it's more for like the thrill of having one, not necessarily playing it out that much, but something like that I think is going to be nice for the collection. Fat Philosopher says, considering the abuse they can take, I think buying Floyd new is a better idea. I think so too, because believe it or not, Fat Philosopher, there's a lot of knockoff Floyds as well. I was looking on eBay, and even the Floyd Rose 1000 series, which is sort of the Korean version of the Floyd, there's a lot of Chinese knockoffs that they're selling for like $40, $50. So they're not even real. So if I'm gonna buy a Floyd, I'm probably gonna buy one from Floyd, for Floyd Rose directly on their website to make sure that I'm buying a real one. Unless I can see it in person and try it first, then I can determine whether or not it is real. The other thing that's also very good, almost as good, in my opinion, probably identical anyways, is the Schaller versions of the Floyd Rose, because I think they're basically the same. I have one on this guitar here, and it works like a charm. Huge improvement over like pot metal Chinese knockoff. So a lot of people that have issues with Floyd's, it's because of that. It's because they have something cheap or fake, and yeah, avoid those at all costs if you can. They're not very good. Quicksilver says he put the Eric Clapton EC1000T. Is that the one? Is that what we're talking about? EC1000T up for sale for 900 euros. It even comes with slash Seymour Junction pickups. No, we're not talking about that. 1000C here. Sorry, Quicksilver. What model is that? I'm drawing a blank here. Seymour Duncan pickups, APH S2 instead of the Fishman's. It's up on Reverb, but shipping to Japan is insanely expensive. Yeah, I don't know about international shipping right now. I think that, you're asking for trouble shipping internationally right now, the COVID situation. I don't think things have settled down. I think a lot of people are still shipping things right now. I would avoid shipping anywhere outside of your country at this right now, at least. Seth says no one seems to be buying guitars at the moment. Well, at least not my guitars. How come? Why do you say that? I thought the market was still pretty hot. People were getting into like practicing guitar, playing guitar. Oh, Eric wants to see the blue Zoai guitar because he ordered one and it's going to be here next week. Do I have it here? I don't know. Do I have it here? No. Sorry, man. It's in a case right now. I don't have it here at the moment. But yeah, it's a good guitar, man. You're gonna like it. I would honestly order another one if they didn't all come with a reverse headstock. The neck on the guitar is really nice. I really do like the neck, the finish on the frets, fretwork, really good. Solid guitar overall for the money especially. And I actually asked them if they were going to be building any guitars without the reverse headstock. They said they would, but not right now. So I don't know what that means. But yeah, as soon as they come out with a version that doesn't have a reverse headstock, I'm going to grab another one for sure. Bruce got a new set of strings. Awesome. I haven't yet installed my Billy Gibbons strings, the sevens. I bought 2 sets just for the heck of it to try them out. I haven't installed them yet. So I'm not sure which guitar I should install them on. I got to figure that one out. I just wanted to try them. I've never played such a thin set of strings. So I'm wondering if, it'll make a tonal difference or not, or if they're going to break. Today I'm playing this guitar, which is you probably saw this one already. I reviewed it. This is a Harley Benton. This is the Pro Fusion that they have. The 2. They have a new one now, the 3. I looked at those. They don't seem very different. From what I can tell, it's just that they have a push-pull pot to switch the pickups from full humbucker to split. This one has a little switch here. Honestly, I never use it. I'm not a big fan of split coils. If you want that Strat sound, then just play a Strat. But I mean, some people do like it. I prefer to have the split on a push-pull pot. I don't like the little toggle switch, but it is what it is. Great guitar overall. I did change the pickups in this guitar. These are a set of Jalen pickups that I put in there. Way, way better. Huge improvement in sound over the Roswell that were originally in the guitar. The Roswells are not bad. They're not bad. Some people that are not finicky with pickups might not mind them. But I'm a little bit finicky, so I swapped them out. Today I'm playing this... oh man, I think it's already out of charge here. I decided to break out my little NuX wireless transmitter receiver. It looks like this one died on me because it's flashing. I hate when that happens. See, this one's flashing now. It means the battery's dead. So I need to charge them up. I hate when that happens. Nothing is more reliable than a hardwire, but I was having fun with this. So the cool thing about these, you can plug them right into the case like that. And if the case is charged up, because the case itself has a battery in it, you can see the lights. So if you plug them in, they charge up again. See that? Now they're being charged. I think that's really cool, man. I really like these. They work well. I don't use them nearly enough, and I should. But I'm gonna charge them up fully again, and I'll go to a cable so that I can actually maybe play the guitar a little bit that I'm holding. Let me just grab my cable, guys. 1 sec. Too many cables. Alrighty, let's plug this guy in here. There we go. All right, so now I can make it. I'm playing double drop D here because I was playing playing that. So that was why I had it in the double drop D. You have to tune it down to get it in the right place. Let's get it back to an E flat. Let's get to E. Bring it back to normal. There we go. Better. There we go. So the guitar itself is great. I like it a lot. A nice quality guitar. Well built. Would I grab the new ones? I don't know. I kind of like this one. I think it works well. I saw that they came out with some that have Floyds on them. I can't comment on the quality of the Floyds. But I think for these cheaper guitars, they probably will not put good quality Floyds on them. I think the Wilkinson bridge on this would be probably the best bet, just to stay on the safe side. Otherwise, you might end up with problems. All right, let me just scroll down. Seth says, put those 7s on something with a little higher action. Feels killer. Yeah, it's true. It might actually make the guitar more playable. True. I don't really have many guitars with high action though, because most of my guitars are set up properly, and I like relatively low action on my guitars. But I'll try and figure out where I want to put that one. Paul says, RJ Ronquillo yesterday said he has a Schaller and a Godot Floyd as well as a German, and they are all great, no problems. Yeah, I think I haven't tried the Godot ones. The Godots have a different look though. The Schallers are more, they look more like the Floyd. If you put them side by side, I'm pretty sure the parts are interchangeable. Whereas the Godot, I'm not sure they're interchangeable. Fat Philosopher says he can't ship by air to Canada or Australia, hoping on the kindness of Americans and Europeans. I don't know if anything. For me, I always try and stay within the country or within the city, even better. So I've been a little bit sad, yeah, this week because we did lose. We lost Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones, and I really do like the Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones was for me up there in terms of one of my favorite bands when I was younger, especially. Um, yeah, it's sad. It's sad that he's gone, and I wouldn't have expected him to be the first one to go from the Stones. I always thought it would be Keith, but you know what they say. Keith and cockroaches are gonna be the last things on Earth. He just like has 9 lives. It's gonna be sad when we lose Keith too. Hopefully we won't. He'll stick around for a while. A friend of mine who was a big Rolling Stone fan actually met Charlie a couple of times, and he told me that this is way back now. This is going back many years. He was suffering from throat cancer, and a lot of people don't know that, but he was, and this was way back. So I think probably that they didn't really announce what the reason was for his death, but it probably ended up being that eventually just caught up with him. And it's so sad because they were just getting ready for another tour. Seemed like it was a go, and then last minute they said Charlie wouldn't be joining them, and then we got news that yeah, that happened. So they're probably still going to continue the tour. They're probably going to get some other drummer, but it won't be the same. Bruce, I don't understand why that is. I don't know if it's the time change thing or what, but yeah, the notifications are garbage on YouTube. I sent out. Well, I posted the link to the show yesterday, last night. So I really don't know why you're getting it late. But anyways, it is what it is. I don't really go by that anymore. I just, start the show and whoever jumps on, jumps on. It's all good. Yeah, so Charlie, there's been a lot of outpouring of affection for Charlie this week, and he was a very underrated drummer, but a lot of drummers, really felt that he was a good drummer. Hey, he made a career out of playing with the Stones and not overdoing it. He wasn't flamboyant by any means. He was just there, solid, kept keeping the backbeat. He had a very odd way of playing. If any of you play drums, I took drum lessons for quite a while. So when he plays, he kind of like pauses the sticks. He doesn't swing it like this. He's like when he hits the snare, he lifts the other one. It's like he's almost doing this. Very strange technique that he had. But yeah, you know, God rest his soul. Charlie is in heaven playing with some other rock and rollers. Gospel of Mark, great question. How do you all feel about selling gear someone else buys for you, gives you? I always kind of feel bad, but if I don't dig it, I'd rather get something I like. I guess it all depends, what the gear is. In my opinion, if it's something small, not very expensive, something that won't easily be like, missed, yeah, I would flip it. But if it's something like, if someone would give me a guitar and, something like that, I would feel bad. I would, just because, I'm sure they put a lot of care and emotion into it, and you know, I guess want to make you happy. So if, somebody hands you a guitar, hang on to it as much as you can. I still regret till this day selling the first guitar that I ever had, which was a Roadstar 2 Ibanez guitar that my mom bought for me. I should have never sold that guitar. I should have kept it. But way back when, this is probably over 20 years ago, I just, I ended up selling it and I regret it. What can you do? Yeah, Keith, you're absolutely right. Every time they do a show, the Stones, Everybody thinks that's it, that's their last one, but it never is, right? Never is. They always come back for more. Which I'm glad. I'm glad they are doing that. It just, it goes to show that even after you've reached the pinnacle, you're, a very world famous band, you have money, you could be doing other things, you could be taking it easy and just retiring. They choose to continue rocking, which means it's in their blood. So why should they stop? Yeah, Charlie used to be a jazz player, yeah. I heard that when he joined the band, they were actually like they were selling stuff and just trying to scratch together the money, enough money to pay Charlie because he was more of a renowned musician in their part of town at the time. I guess he had already established himself as a jazz musician or whatever, so they were trying to entice him over and had to like scrape together cash to pay him. I think he made a good decision. What do you guys think? Yeah, getting rid of the first guitar, your very first guitar, is always one of those things. Fat Philosopher tried to buy his old 87 Kramer, but those guitars are in so bad shape now, it isn't worth it. Well, you might be able to get lucky and find one that works, or, just refurbish it, make it a project. Really cool, now that's surprising. No more Iron Gear pickups anymore because X-Tech won't deliver to the UK at the moment. Really? Wow. Hmm. Interesting. I thought the Iron Gear pickups were actually came from the UK. Maybe I'm mistaken. Because when I buy them, they seem to be shipping from the UK. Odd. I gotta look into that. Joey says, got a BC Rich vase, a gift from a client a little while ago, and I haven't had some serious offers on it. Won't sell it. Are you trying to sell it, or you're not trying to sell it? You have had serious offers, but okay. Sorry, I'm reading it properly now. So you have it, you've gotten offers on it, but you won't sell it. Okay, so that's one of your favorites, I guess. One of your top guitars. Well, at least you know that you want to keep it. That's awesome. That's knowing straight away which guitars you want to hang on to definitely makes things a whole lot easier. For me, there's a few guitars that I probably won't sell anytime soon, anyways. So Mark says he had to sell it because he got laid off. Oh, okay. Sold it to a kid, which was cool. He was learning to play, and his dad bought it for him. Well, that's good karma, man. You're getting him started in the right direction. So there's always a silver lining. Yeah, it's always sad when you have to sell something off. I agree with you. All right, so here we got some news. Tone Rider has partnered with FedEx, so all fees and VAT is paid at checkout, and you don't pay anything extra except for customs declaration. No extra fees, just an online form. That's great news because I like the Tone Rider pickups. Actually, the guitar, one of the projects that I'm going to be putting together, which is another Strat. I spoke about it last week. And I'm going to be putting in the Tone Rider pickups, the city limits in that guitar with the Gun Street wiring harness. I want to start that. I'm just missing. Cohen might know about this because he builds his own guitars, but I'm missing some bits because when I drill my holes for pick guards for bridges, I usually just use a regular drill bit, and I don't really like doing it that way because the holes are never centered. I'm a little anal with that stuff, guys. So if you guys are building guitars, you can get yourself what they call hinge bits that they use when you're installing door hinges, which kind of auto center themselves to the hole. So if you have a guide like in a bridge, there's the holes that are already drilled in the bridge. Your your bit will be automatically centered with the hole if you use the right bits and you don't have the holes misaligned. And it drives me crazy when I have that happen. So I'm pausing the project till I can order some decent quality ones, and then use those to at least drill the holes for the bridge, because I it drives me nuts when I see the holes for the bridges either misaligned, you know, drilled in an angle. I hate when I see the bridges that are crooked, and I want the holes to be perfectly centered. Quicksilver, I tried the humbuckers from Tone Rider, and I wasn't a big fan of the ones that I tried. I haven't tried the HSS combo yet, but I don't have a guitar with a HSS setup right now. The only one I actually have is my Sir, and I'm gonna be converting it to double humbucker. It's gonna look a lot like this guitar actually, except that one has a pick guard. I can't wait to do that. I just haven't decided which pickups I'm gonna go with for that guitar. Yeah, center punch could work as well. You need the right size center punch though. The cool thing about those drill bits, Cohen, is that they do come in a set. So you have like a variety of different sizes. So if you want to use it for your pick guard, or you want to use it for your bridge or other things, they would work nicely for that. They're not extremely expensive, so I figured why not? Yeah, Tone Riders. Tone Rider City Limits for your Strat, man. If it's a single coil set that you're looking for, go with those. They're amazing. I love them. As far as humbuckers, I haven't really found the set that I'm looking for from them. You're looking at the Mojo Tone 59 clones. How much are those, Mark? How much are they selling them for? Anything that has the word 59 and clone in them probably are going to be pretty expensive. I'm curious to know how much those cost. Their HB from the HSS is the Birmingham Bridge pickup. Sounds great, smooth yet loud. See, I haven't tried that one. The one I tried, I don't even remember. It's been so long which one it was. It was one of their classic humbuckers that they were offering from the get-go, uncovered, and yeah, I didn't bond with that one for whatever reason. But I am looking for a nice set of pickups for the Sir. I'm considering going back to my good friend at High Order Pickups, because he winds amazing pickups. One of my favorite pickup set that I have in my Tokai uh, guitar right over here. Amazing. I just love them. But they're not. He's not giving them away. They're still like over $100 each, US. Well, they're not. $230 isn't that bad. It's a little pricey, but honestly, if you get somebody to wind you a set of pickups, you're not gonna get a humbucker for under $100, you know. And if they sound good, a couple of bucks more doesn't make that much of a difference. Oh, you've owned them before, so you know what you're looking for. So they sound good. So if you think they sound good, man, go with that. Maybe you can get a used set someplace. Is the neck on that set, Mark? Is that neck pickup muddy? Because that's my biggest issue is just always having. I always get stuck with pickups that have a muddy neck pickup, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. That's why I like the ones from High Order. They're not muddy at all. They have a nice cut to the neck pickups, but they still feel full. They still sound full. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to get a good sounding neck. The bridge is pretty easy. You can get a lot of nice sounding bridge pickups, but for me, it's the neck that always causes issues. Floppity Doo says he picked up some Voodoo VAFs matched to an original set of Seth Lovers. Will install this week. Feel hopeful. What is the cost on those? I always ask that. I always need to know what the cost is because, that's the main thing. You can get a lot of great sounding pickups, but if you can get an affordable set of great sounding pickups, then we're in business. Hey, good morning, Rico. Nice to see you join us today. Yeah, the Korean pickups on the PRS guitars not great. I find that that's the Achilles heel of the PRS guitars in general from the ones I've tried anyways. The pickups, they can always use better pickups, but so Gospel of Mark says my S2 is a single cut standard. It's awesome. I didn't like the stock pickups, Korean made. I put in some porters and they just aren't my thing. So what are you looking for in terms of sound there, Mark? Maybe I can help you out with some other pickups that I've tried. Yeah, if you get the 5909s, those are pretty darn expensive. So if they're not muddy, Mark, if the Mojo tones are not muddy, especially the neck pickup, that sounds just about right. But Mark, if you're looking for a set of pickups, honestly, head on over to High Order Pickups. Don't be swayed by the 70s look of the website. I don't think that website has been updated in probably 20 years. But if you contact my buddy over there and tell him what you're looking for, he's like an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to pickups, and he can tell you like what wire you should go with, what magnets you should go with, and propose something really really nice for you. Yeah, but Mark, even the American pickups, like I have an American PRS as well. I'm still not convinced 100%. Like sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. They're still, I don't know. I think you can still get a nicer set of pickups to put in there. Yeah, that's another option is going with P90s in the neck. That would definitely give you a little bit more of like a I guess a single coil sound. It's true. Floppity Doo says they were $90 each. I'm currently taking a break from installing Thornbuckers in my PRS SE. So why did you go with the Thornbuckers? And how come you're installing like really expensive pickups in one guitar and your other guitars only getting $90 pickups? I don't know too much about those pickups, Floppity Doo. So if you can maybe give me some info on them, would be cool. I'll maybe check them out for myself if they sound good. And I definitely like to know how they compare with the Thornbuckers. From what I understand, the Thornbuckers are a little bit more like modern sounding pickups, not necessarily classic sounding. So we're getting a lot of suggestions now. Fat Philosopher is also talking about Dylan Talks Tone pickups for $230 US. Um, So Seth always is saying, I always forget that when I order parts for a build, it's a gear purchase. Ordered a dusky rose hardtail body, aged relic hardware, maple neck, rosewood board, vintage gloss. Dusky rose, interesting. I haven't seen that company before. And you went with a hardtail. What do you prefer hardtail, Seth? Why do you I think you mentioned a couple of times that you've been working on hardtail versions. Is it just because it's easier to put together for you, or do you actually prefer the hardtail? Yeah, man. Cool tunes. I don't know what it is about the neck. I don't know what it is about the neck. It's just yeah, they're usually not as punchy or crisp. You lose definition and it just sounds muddy. Yeah, Paul, I've tried Lawler pickups actually. I had a Strat that I purchased that had a set of Lawler pickups. I didn't like them. I took them out. And they're not cheap pickups. They're like almost $400 a set, but I ended up flipping them and I got something else in there that I like. Honestly, if I had to choose between the Lawler set that I had and my City Limits from Tone Rider, I prefer the Tone Rider pickups. Some of you might disagree with me, but oh, I see, Mark. That's why. Okay. You're looking for a more vintage PF sound. The Porters I got are nice, but they are Portertrons, Filtertrons. They are nice. I just want something else. Yeah, the Portertrons are not going to give you that vintage tone. The Porters just came out with the Anthem Plus. You might want to check those out. I have them in a guitar. I did a review on those. I have to say though, the Anthem, the sounds on the video don't necessarily do it justice, but they are definitely a step up in my opinion from the anthems, because they have the anthems and now the Anthem Plus, which is a little bit gives you a little bit more punch. Great sounding pickups. So there's those. But check out High Order, you'll see, man, he makes good pickups as well. And Peg City, the Peg City pickups I got that I reviewed also on my channel. Pretty happy with those as well. There's great sounding pickups. There's a lot, man. There's so many. And because I like to swap out pickups all the time, it's like, it's hard for me to give advice sometimes because there's so many like little nuances depending on what guitar you want to put them in, what sound you're looking for, what type of music you're looking for. It's a very personal thing. It's almost like, picking a perfume for somebody else. You know what I mean? So Fat Philosopher says the bridge is becoming more and more important to me. Correcting the intonation on some is a nightmare. I agree. I agree. Some you simply can't intonate properly. They just are not set up properly. I've had to get longer screws for some guitars to be able to pull just put the bridge saddles in the right position, because they were just not in the right position and the screw wouldn't allow as much adjustment as I needed. And getting those little screws they're not easy to get in longer formats. You have to like order 100 of them or 50 of them instead of just 6. But once you get them intonated properly, it sweetens up the sound so much. You lose all that dissonance, and it's not really something you notice unless you're playing with a lot of gain sometimes. But yeah, when you hit certain notes and it's like, it just doesn't sound right. Yeah, if you're going into playing your guitars unplugged, then you're definitely not going to worry about pickups. Paul says, big buzz going around that tomorrow is the release day for some killer amp at a reasonable price. All the hotshot site guys have one to demo. So what is that? What is that amp, Paul? I'm just wondering. There's always one coming up or being released. I don't know, man. I try to avoid the hype. If there is a cool amp, great. But oftentimes they always fall short. Everybody's like, like just a couple of weeks ago, everybody was talking about the new Fender, you know, amps that are completely transistor and they're supposed to be great. I don't know, man. I don't believe the hype anymore. I gotta try it for myself. Oh man. I don't play with the capo enough. I need more practice. Should get a cleaner sound when I'm doing that though. What I'm actually, Paul, you brought that up. What I'm actually pretty excited about again, and I swore to myself that I wouldn't flip flop on this, but it seems like right now there's a new amp, multi effects coming out from Fractal, the FM9, which is a floor unit, and $1,500. But it's, you got 2200 factory cabinets in there. You got over 50 reverbs. You got the looper. It works as an audio interface, and the Fractal stuff is really good. So I don't know. I'm getting tempted, just because I have the amps that I need for live situations. And, I use the ones I have here. But it's great to be able to have something for recording purposes in the studio, just to practice. Most of the time, you don't need very loud amplifiers. You can actually do everything with headphones like I'm doing right here. And a relatively inexpensive unit will get you there. But it's great to have the flexibility of something like a Fractal. And a lot of people use them. And it's a really nice looking solid floor unit that just came out. So I'm getting tempted again. So if I'm going to spend a lot of money on something, maybe I'll check that out. I don't know. I'm curious to know what that is, Paul. What amp you're talking about? Cool Tune says if I were to change them, I never ever change pickups myself, so I can't answer that. But Tony could. What is the question? Sorry, guys, I jumped around here. Let me scroll back. Cohen says Artec has this Giovanni set of pickups. Anyone tried those already? Supposed to be their higher series as far as I understood. A lot of people actually make fun of that set, Giovanni, because it's supposed to be like a cork sniffer budget model pickup. I haven't tried them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Nick in the States spoke to me about those, the Giovanni set. But I haven't tried them. Hey, I'm willing to try anything once, especially if it's affordable. So Floppity Doo says I already had the Thornbuckers on order for the PRS SE245. Plays great, sounds like doo-doo. Went with those based on reviews and what I have heard. PF with more output. But you have them in your guitar right now, right? You put them in the SE. So how do you feel they sound? So they're just PAFs with more output, according to you. Well, that's not a bad thing. They're expensive though. Rich, I actually tried those bodies. I used to buy those a long time ago when they were like $90, under $100. Now they've gotten a lot more expensive. Yeah, but they're decent bodies. The only issue I had with those bodies is the neck pocket. They were, for some reason, the Strat style guitar were bodies were carved with a flat neck pocket instead of a curved one. So more like what you would see on a Telecaster as opposed to a Stratocaster, which I never understood why they did that. But I don't know if they're doing that now. Maybe they changed that. Okay, Rico says I have a guitar with the same pickups in the bridge and neck, Seymour Duncan JBs. They are exactly the same, or are they exactly the same, or are they wound different? Because they do sound different. Well, I don't think they're exactly the same, because if they're exactly the same and you're installing them in the same guitar, neck and bridge position, you're going to get an out of phase sound. So they should be wound differently. At least the polarity on the pickups should be different. One should be north facing, the other one should be south facing. But they would probably, even if they're identical except for the polarity, they would still probably sound different because the neck location of the pickup is not in the same place as the bridge pickup. So just by natural, the sound on, if you're picking here or here, is not going to be the same. This is going to sound more trebly. This is going to sound more bassy. So if that's what you mean, yeah, two identical pickups could still sound different. I think in the old days when they were winding the pickups, the early pickups for, Gibson was basically using the same pickup for both sides. Hey Jamal, nice to see you, buddy. Watching while loading a 787 to San Francisco. Hey everybody, pay attention, Jamal. We don't want to lose any luggage along the way, hey? That's a big machine, by the way. I'm glad you're listening. That's cool, man. So yeah, Rico says, I saw McKnight mention he would have a new amp video dropping on Monday, and he was pointing at that Mini Friedman amp. I don't like that Mini Friedman amp. I hope it might be another Friedman. Maybe it's another transistor Friedman they're releasing. But that the little Mini didn't sound good, man. I have to say, everybody was like freaking out over that thing. At first, I thought it was cool because it was so small, until I heard it, and I'm like, no. So Bruce, I guess they changed the neck pocket. Maybe enough people complained. So it's great to know that now they're actually routing it out with the right profile. Because overall they were great. I think they're a little more expensive now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're above $100, right? I haven't checked them out in a long time. My dog's snoring so hard right now. I wish I could sleep as well as she sleeps, poor thing. The new amp is from Joyo. Joyo Badass. 2-channel, 50-watt tube lunchbox bass amplifier. Alright. Cool. I don't know, man. Do you guys remember when Joyo came out with the amp that looked like an Oreo cookie? It was a two-color stacked like amplifier that was supposed to be like amazing. It came and went so fast. That's why I don't like jumping in on the hype too quickly, because it's like it's a flash in the pan. It's here, everybody's talking about it today. Here today, gone later today. So yeah, if I'm, I don't know, I'll check it out. Guys. I don't want to sound jaded, but I've been to that rodeo before. So Fat's got a question. Let's see if we can help him out. When buying a Gibson Les Paul, is it better to buy a standard model? Almost bought a traditional, but they discontinued the name. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of difference between the traditional and the standard. It's just more of a marketing thing. You know what I mean? They're just trying to. I think beyond the wiring, the style of the knobs, the truss rod cover, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. Perhaps the pickups. I don't really remember what they're putting in the traditional model, but somebody that has one might pipe up a little bit and help Fat Philosopher with the specs. I don't know them offhand. I have two standards, and standard is standard. The traditional, I think they were just adding some features that so they can actually make it sound like you're getting more of the vintage version of those guitars. But I think both are great, by the way. Yeah, man, Mark, exactly the same. I thought the BE sounded like garbage. If you're gonna go with Friedman, get a tube Friedman. Those are awesome if you can afford them. Who needs two kidneys, right? Yeah, 135 bucks. That's what I remember seeing them at. So they went up quite a bit. But do they offer some nicer finishes now? At the time, they were kind of limited in terms of the choice for the finishes. Still, 135 bucks for a finished body is not that bad. Yeah, the guitar fetish bodies, a lot of people use those as well. They have some interesting models for sure. I was checking out some of their double bound Telecaster sets, Telecaster bodies, which are cool. But I do hear more people complaining about, like, it's a little bit more hit and miss. You might get one that's good, you might get one that has some flaws. But yeah, they are definitely affordable. Yeah, exactly. All the Chinese stuff that is like that. Release today, no firmware updates, and they quickly move on to the next model. Exactly, exactly. I've been trying, like I said, I've been saying this for weeks now. I've been trying to get the new version of the new X, the MG30, which is sort of the updated MG300 that I like. And I still can't get my hands on one of those things. And I think soon they're just gonna they're just gonna release the next model, and that'll be that. Too bad, because it seems like it's a better version of the 300. So Floppity Doo just finished the Thornbucker install. Upon initial sound test, they definitely have more clarity and punch. Now I need to intonate. New bridge also installing. Yeah, man, take your time. Get the pickups dialed in properly. But that's good to know. I just wish they weren't so expensive. I wish they would be less expensive. But anything that has an artist's name on it tends to be more expensive. Plus, the Sir stuff is already expensive. So yeah, that's the one. The Cookie Joyo. I mean, it sounded pretty cool. I know some people reviewed it. Um, I don't think they actually shipped any. Lots of promos for months, but no amp. I don't think they actually did. I think at the end of the day, it just turned out to be too expensive for them to actually. They probably dropped it because they weren't selling enough. I think the traditional is a little less expensive than the standard, but I don't think it's $1,000 less. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't think it's $1,000 less. Henry is asking, does a traditional only have the 50s neck? It's a good question. If somebody could pull up the specs on their computer and just let us know, that would be great. Bruce says buy a Les Paul Studio, just about as good as a standard, at about half the price. I don't know, Bruce. The ones I've tried, they didn't really cut it, man. It's like I've tried one. It could be that it was just poorly set up, because often that's the case. They're just badly set up from the get go. But the one I tried, man, it sucked. It was really bad. I put it right back, so I can't agree with you on that one. I wouldn't say it's as good as the standard. It's maybe you can get it set up and change the pickups on it and whatever and get it to play properly, but yeah, I can't agree with you on that one, man. Sorry. At least from what I've tried. Maybe you landed on a good one. Yeah, they did swap the names, Fat Philosopher. You're right. The traditional possibly got switched over to the classic. They keep switching the names on us so that they can actually charge more money for the same stuff, confuse everybody. But the standard, I think, remained the standard unless they came out with a standard Pro now or something. But both Gibson and Fender always do this. Fender just did this recently as well. Sorry, I'm scrolling down on the chat here because I'm falling behind. Yeah, the studio Les Paul doesn't have any binding on the neck. That's true. Some people don't like binding, so if you're one of those guys, then yeah, the studio would be cool. Honestly, the Mark, I agree with you, man. The PRS just plays so nice. The necks feel like butter, and really, if you just have to get the right pickups in there, man. And I'm still looking for a good set of pickups to possibly put into my American the 245, and I have another the SE 245 here behind me. I did swap the pickups out on that one. Sounds much better now. But yeah, it's as far as playability, like butter. I have to admit, way more comfortable than the Gibsons. You know, the traditionals are not being made anymore. So mute point. Well, just because they're not being made anymore doesn't mean they're not decent guitars. And if you can get them for cheaper because they're not being made anymore, then it's still going to be a good deal. Hey, William, nice to see you, buddy. Good morning. The standard is just a prettier studio. Play them side by side, and then you'll see. So I think they actually streamline now. Tribute, Studio, Classic, Standard is the pecking order price wise. And Ben says I have the Les Paul Jr. Harley Benton Epiphones, and I flirted with the idea of getting a Gibson Les Paul Jr. since it's the only one I could possibly afford. Suggestions. What are we gonna tell? What are we gonna tell Ben? What kind of advice can we give Ben? Oh, I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong, guys. But I think that the Epiphones, the new Epiphones, are decently good. I mean, maybe you don't need a Les Paul Jr. if you already have an Epiphone. Have you tried? Is it an older Epiphone, the newer model ones? If maybe just try the newer Epiphones and see whether or not you really feel that there's a big difference between the Epiphone and the juniors. I wouldn't be surprised, Bruce. I wouldn't be surprised if Fender pulls something like that. They're going to move all their production guitars to Mexico, and the USA shop will only be for the custom shop guitars. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I don't really care as long as the prices don't go up. Because honestly, whether a body's made in the USA or in Mexico, To me, there's not a whole lot of difference. There's not a, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are swallowing the hype and are just accepting the price increases over and over again on these guitars, and it's just enough's enough. Stop the insanity, guys. Stop the insanity. For those of you who don't know, Stevie Ray Vaughan passed away on the 27th of August, which is that just passed by a couple days ago. So I posted a little photo of him on Instagram just to commemorate that. I'm a little bit late, but I still miss Stevie, man. I wonder what he would be up to today if he would still be cranking out the music if he was still around. I miss having a blues player that could still set things on fire. We have Bonamassa, not the same. He's great. Don't get me wrong. I love Joe. Great player. I just dropped my pick. Great player, but not the same intensity and fire. He plays amazing. I saw him play a medley of Led Zeppelin tunes, and he just ripped through that. Really great in terms of technique and stuff. The guy, is amazing. You can tell he practices a lot, but not the same kind of fire that Stevie had. By the way, I'm playing these Prodigy picks. I don't know if you guys have tried these before. They're 2 millimeter thick Prodigy picks. Can you see that? Kind of like these because they have, no matter how you grab the pick, it's almost like you have three picks in one because every angle of the pick is good. So when you're in a rush and you're trying to like get the pick in the right orientation, when you have a regular standard pick, there's the what I call the butt side and the tip. Well, this one has three tips, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the Gospel of Mark, Jared James Nichols. Yeah, he's got potential. I mean, he definitely is cool to watch to play, but I wouldn't put him in the same category as Stevie, man. I think he would agree if you ask him. Actually, the cool thing, now that you brought up Jared James Nichols, I actually brought my Black Star Jared James Nichols amp, the one I purchased in the corner over there behind the Marshall. I actually brought it to a jam session for the first time last week, and it performed pretty good. Um, it's loud enough to hang with the band, and we're pretty loud. Um, it's got nice flexibility in it, and it's funny because the voicing on the amplifier when you play it in the room here, I don't usually like the way the voicing sounds. There's a voicing switch on the amp, so it's got a clean, it's got a drive, and it's got a voicing switch, which kind of like boosts the mids. Usually, it doesn't sound that great when I'm playing it here, but in a live setting, sounds good. It's so I think Jared dialed it in really for his live playing, and it actually performed very nicely. And because we have access to cabinets there, I actually just plugged the output into the cab. So I was actually coming out of the speaker in the combo and the cab at the same time. And what I like to do is because it's got a pretty narrow field, so it's if you're standing in front of the amplifier, you hear yourself very, very well. But as soon as you stand off to the side a little bit, it's kind of you lose it. So I actually pointed the combo at me so I can hear myself, and I just turned the cabinet towards the rest of the guys so they can hear me, and it worked out beautifully. Not a very heavy amp to carry, and it's got everything that I need in there. Sometimes the crunch, the dirt channel on that amp is good, so sometimes I don't even need to use my pedals. Quite a flexible little amplifier. There won't ever be another Steve Ray Vaughan. You know what I don't like about about the Jared James Nichols? This could be stupid. You're probably gonna laugh at me. I'm not into mustaches. You know, thinking back, beyond Tony Iommi, who else had a mustache? There's not that many rock stars that had a mustache. I remember Eric Clapton sported a mustache back in the day for a period of time there. But I don't know. I just find it weird. I find like mustaches are not the rock star thing. You know? I don't know, man. Maybe Lenny from Motorhead, or who else had a mustache? I'm just thinking back if I could remember. Did I know there's a couple more people that had a mustache, but it's just for me turns me off. I don't know why. It's a stupid thing, I know. So Paul says, closing M made in America Fender, according to a guy I know who recently quit Fender to work for PRS, is a given. It's already a plan to keep upgrading the made in Mexico's for the next few years as a transition. Interesting. Why don't they just go ahead and get the guitars made in Japan? Like they used to do. You know, probably because it would cost them more now. But those were always my favorites. They were great guitars, man. Anyways, I think that boat has sailed. Tobacco Sunburst comes in a gold 100 anniversary case. Seth says mustaches rule. Who else had a mustache? This is gonna be our sideline conversation. Danny Grattan. Queen, epic mustache. I'm talking about guitarists now, Seth. Yeah, Lemmy. Again, guitarists. Cornell. Cornell was playing guitar, true. Ted Nugent, didn't Ted Nugent have a mustache? Trying to think back, I'm not really sure. I think he did. Was never a Nugent fan, but I think he did. True, Zappa. How can I forget Zappa? That's true. Neil Peart, yeah, but Neil wasn't a guitarist. Did Alex Lifeson have a mustache? I think he did at one point. Early years. I think they all had mustaches in the early years. And I think it was Alex's birthday just the other day too. I posted a picture of him on Instagram as well. I think he's 68 already. He's pushing 70, man. Still looks pretty good for his age though. The full beard thing is big with metal. Now nowadays everything beard is in again. I don't really like the beard thing either, guys. That's just me. I know it's in with the younger people. I never really had a beard. Although I can grow a beard in like 2 days if I wanted to. Let's just say my hair follicles are still very good even at my age. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard the news, but Paul Stanley tested positive for COVID. They had to cancel the Pennsylvania tour. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with that, but I'm sure they're going to go back on tour. I'm sure a little COVID won't stop Kiss. When's the Rush movie coming out? I really want to watch that. It's okay, Larry. Keep it. Keep it. No offense, guys. I know if there's probably quite a few of you guys here that have the the face hair going on, so don't worry about it. It's all good. Seth says, "I love the mustache conversations. Tony and Addicted to Gear are the best." I don't know if you're being sarcastic there, Seth, or what, but it is what it is. We never know. We know where we're going to start, but we don't know where we're going to end in terms of our conversations. I got to keep my eyes open for that Rush movie. September 9th. I was actually watching a couple of little clips on YouTube of Rush. There's funny Rush moments. Pretty funny stuff. Take a look at that if you have a moment. If you're a Rush fan, it's pretty funny. Oh, that's sad. Two friends drive 3 hours to that Kiss show just to get turned around. Aye, that sucks, man. Now that I remember, I watched Rush and the Rolling Stones together in 2003 at the Toronto Rocks Festival. SARS Rock. How were they in 2003? Because, like at that stage, I think there was a little bit more like dance music happening. They had done that little. I think they were adding a little bit more dance flavored tunes to their music at that point. Don't know. Don't remember. Addicted to beards. All right, no more beard talk. I don't want to get you guys upset. But so what else are we going to be talking about, guys? I think we're going to be wrapping it up, an hour and a half. I just wanted to, if there's any last minute sort of get those questions in under the wire. Getting back to the topic of guitars and gear, as opposed to beards and other things. Uh, Let me know. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to throw in there, and before we log off for the weekend. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, by the way. I really appreciate you guys tuning in on the weekends like this. And I appreciate your comments on the videos as well that I put out there. And right after this, I'm going to be contacting the Apple Store and see what's happening with the equipment. Hopefully they won't ding me for, I mean, they charge a lot of money for what they have to do, but I could probably end up doing it myself, but I don't want to risk messing it up. So I prefer to pay a little bit more. I know I'm getting clipped, but at least they'll end up fixing it. Paul says, my lady friend with Canada Stats says best case projection for even a new normal is next Easter. I hope not. I don't even know what normal means anymore, honestly. I've been working from home, guys, for since last November. I actually changed jobs and I ended up joining a new company. And honestly, I've been working from home since last November. Works like a charm for me. I have no issues working from home. I actually feel that I'm much more productive. And I get to play guitar once in a while to relieve stress because the workload is pretty solid there. I'm not wasting time. I tell you that much. And every once in a while, it's good to take a little break. And you can't play guitar at work, can you? But if you're at home, you're taking a 15-minute break or whatever it is. Pull out the guitar, strum a few chords, just makes things more enjoyable. And what I really love is not having to deal with traffic. I mean, you log off at 5 o'clock and you're at home. You're ready to, have supper or do whatever you need to do. And you don't have to worry about wasting another hour in stressful traffic or, driving home in a snowstorm or whatever it is, or, the bridges are blocked due to traffic. It's great. I'd be happy to work from home forever if I could. Maybe that's the new normal, guys. Who knows? It's weird starting, Charles. It's weird starting a new job from home. It's the first time I've ever done that, and getting into like the new structure and getting to know what's what and how things work when you're isolated at home and you can't just like turn to the person beside you and ask a question. It's a little bit odd, I have to say, but things fall into place, and at the end, it seems like that's the new normal. So it's like once you get used to that, it's hard to go back to work. It's hard at this point. It's hard to convince me that going back to work is more efficient. It isn't. It really isn't for me. Everything I need to do, I can do from home. So it depends on your line of work. Obviously, if you're a car mechanic or something, you definitely have to go into work. But if you're doing work from on the internet and you know with Skype, with Teams, with all this stuff, it's fine. Quicksilver says, "Me too. I changed jobs in March 2020, 2 weeks in, and got sent home to work from there since. I haven't set foot in the office since March 12th. I've only been there twice. Once to pick up my stuff, and I spent another day a couple weeks ago in there, and that's it. And there was hardly anybody there, so it was like I could have just done that from home." Yeah, Rico, yeah, I only I only met my boss from Zoom. Yeah, exactly. It's weird. I know. Kind of weird. We're living weird times, guys. I have other friends in the medical field who expect a new strain of COVID that the current shots will not stop is already overdue. They expect it any time. Well, isn't that what the Delta variant is? Isn't that because as far as I know, we're not even really sure that the current shots will protect against that. Are we? I think right now the situation is that I think Pfizer has actually officially released a vaccine. I don't know what that means because if any of you have already gotten the shots from Pfizer, apparently now it's approved or something like that. I don't know what that means. I'm confused by all of this. With the nature of my job, I haven't gotten to work from home like my wife. I'm jealous. Being essential stinks. I agree. Totally agree. Not everybody's in the same situation, let me tell you. I can relate. Can't say I dislike rolling out of bed 10 minutes before the 9 a.m. soft start. I often have to, I deal with people in different parts of the world, including Europe, and to be able to accommodate their schedule, their time, you know, the change of time, we often have meetings very, very early, like 8 a.m., you know? So, like, if I have to go into work for a meeting at 8 a.m. and not be late, I gotta get there earlier, which means I'm up at gotta get up at 6. Whereas if I'm working from home, 7:45, I'm good. You know what I mean? Have my coffee after the meeting, and it's all good. So that is definitely a huge plus for me. I heard about the lambda. People call it the lambada variant. That's another strain that is a little different from the delta strain. Yeah, from Peru. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's what they say, Paul. That's what they say. It's easier to get. I don't know, man. I hope not. I hope not. I hope not, man. My kids are, I got 3 kids and they're all in school. And I worry about them. Kids these days, not all of them are vaccinated. And they're just going about their business like it's normal. I mean, they've gotten used to the masks. They feel that the masks are going to protect them, but really the masks not really going to protect you much. Let's be honest with that. It makes you feel better, but it's really luck of the draw, you know. People are having get-togethers, you know. People are getting together, family, friends, indoors. I don't think anybody's staying 6 feet apart anymore indoors. Who knows? Who knows? I just hope that those of us that are, you know, vaccinated are going to be okay and protected. Anyways, guys, let's think positive. Whatever it is, we'll get through it. I'm sure we will. Um, Maybe because winter's coming, at least here in Canada where I am. Winter's hard. There's a lot of snow, and we kind of automatically isolate a little bit more and stay away from each other a little more. So that's maybe a good thing. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Let's end it on a happy note, not a negative note. I really appreciate you guys again tuning in this Sunday. I feel we always have great chit chats, and the hour goes by so quickly. I mean, we're at an hour, almost over an hour and a half now. Uh, please keep on tuning in Sundays, man. That's the day. That's the day where we're gonna be chit chatting. And if you guys like what we're talking about here, including mustaches and COVID and all the music related stuff that we're doing, then just keep on tuning in. It's great to have you here. Love to I love talking with you guys because I think we're all on the same wavelength, and I think we all kind of enjoy the same thing. So it's all good. I'm starting to see the crowd getting a little bit bigger and new faces coming in. That's always a real pleasure for me. And as soon as I get my stuff straighted away, I'll be posting the remaining videos. I got a few more lined up. Just have to finish them. So I got to call Apple, light a fire under their ass, and hopefully they'll be able to give me my equipment back without dinging me too badly. But that's it. Yeah, I should do a pop-up show this week. I've been meaning to do that, but it's just the weeks are so busy with work, and by the time I'm done with work, I'm exhausted, man, and I'm trying to still crank out some videos. So it's sort of a question of, you know, finishing videos, doing a live show. But yeah, maybe I'll throw in a pop-up show during the week, maybe during the evening or something like that, when I have a few minutes and maybe get some new faces. Just get some new faces to know the show. But it's all good. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Take care and stay safe, guys. All right, we'll be talking to you a little bit later. Viva la mustache. Cheers, guys. Have a good week.